All right. So this is the second game in my Bones deck Skullstorm streak. Let's take a look. I'll try to be faster about this than I was last time. Just want to focus on decisions. You're not going to see too much of the like in-fight decisions, but kind of mapping and other decisions. Okay, this is the Bones deck. We know we can get an item or a campfire after. Okay, let's see what we got. So these are not great cards, but we do see the Warren, which is great. A lot of times, if you see a bunch of cards you don't want, you take like a bat or a mealworm and you just go, well, this doesn't really hurt my deck. But we already have a coyote. It's going to be really hard for us to pay for that much. I think it's like the Kingfisher's terrible, the Mole's terrible, the Moose Buck's really expensive. I think it's just the Wolf. I think this is Warren and Wolf. And I think there's like no real debate there. I think this is a straightforward one. I took the Pack Rat. I think that's right. You could go to the Campfire because getting +1 attack on the Direwolf is really good, but just having consistent item generation to re-roll it, like the reason people die so much to the Grizzlies is because you're fighting RNG. Occasionally, you can pump up your Direwolf enough that you can beat the Grizzlies without help, but probably you need an item. And the items that will do it for you are the Hourglass, sometimes, scissors, tourney clock, knife, which is hard to get in the first act. So really, those are the three key items. Am I forgetting something? There are a couple other combinations that work, like the fan plus bleach will do it. Um, but there's basically three items that do it. And so you need as many chances to draw those three items. And if you get the Pack Rat, you can kind of elongate every fight to make sure you get the Pack Rat out. Some fights are going to be a rush and you have to finish them. But in Act 1, usually you can control the length of fights pretty decently. Um, and so you just get three extra chances to roll an item. And even if you hit, two item things, that's just four item rerolls over the course of the chapter, with choice, admittedly. And if you can move the Pack Rat ability onto something that replicates, suddenly we get a lot more. It makes it a lot more likely that we're going to get what we need if we take the early Pack Rat. Okay, here I really don't like the tribal choice. If we took Warren and Wolf at the start, which I'm almost certain we did, then what would we do at the sacrificial altar? We'd probably put the raccoon on the coyote to get rid of the raccoon and guarantee we have opening hand Warren. That's upside, but it's mitigated a bunch by the fact that if the tribe gives us a 1-drop, we don't get that. We have used up our items. I think we're just going for item refills right now and trying to get something that gets us through the first boss. Yeah. So apparently I didn't show what card we picked at the 3 cards. I really should have done that. Okay. Here, if we're just trying to beat the boss, the optimal pick is the fan. Because the fan, if we see Bleach next, gives us a path to beat the boss. Then we only need 5 damage on board, and we can Bleach and fan and fly over for 5 damage. However, we've only taken one fight. I think there's a decent chance we should take the Spyglass, use it in a fight to tutor the Pack Rat so we get more make sure we get the item redraw in that fight. I think I'd go the Spyglass. All right, I did go Spyglass, and we see the scissors, which is great. So we're taking the scissors here. Now we have a path to beat the boss. Now what do we need? We need a 5th point of damage. We either need to switch our Spyglass into Pliers or something else where we can get damage through, or we need something like a Mantis or a Pronghorn, or most likely we need +1 damage at a campfire for our Direwolf pup. What does that mean for us here? I think that means we're just going to the right and taking the altar. We can get rid of the raccoon that way, but it doesn't really help us for the boss. There is an argument for going right then left. We get another Pack Rat, which is pleasant, but most importantly, we end up at the fight on the left, which gives us more choices for what to do before the boss. And if there's like double campfire or something like that, we probably need to go that way so our Direwolf can beat it. So there is a good case for going right than left. And there's a good case for going right than right. Right than right is the better long-term option. We should probably just go right, see what we get, and then decide. We got a pronghorn. And a direwolf somewhere. Had we already gotten that? We must have gotten here, we must have gotten the direwolf. And sorry, I was going back. I should say when I go back. Which means, so this is our, which means we went right to get the pronghorn. But now we have two different ways to do 4 damage, direwolf, pup, and direwolf, and we have a 5th damage via pronghorn. And if we go to the altar, we can put direwolf on wolf, which gets us 6 damage on its own. We are good. We definitely are taking the altar now. So knowing what cards we have, it's an easy altar. If we look back, it's an easy go right and then take the altar. But if we didn't know we had that path, there's a strong case for going left, right, and then left, taking the pack rat, just so at the next fight, we have a choice of which way to go, and we can go whichever way gives us a chance, a better chance, to upgrade something such that we can beat the boss. As is, we already had the direwolf, I guess, so it's direwolf onto wolf. Wait, what happened? I put the raccoon onto the coyote? No. I know you want to make your 1-drop more consistent, but we have a spyglass. We can get to the 1-drop we want, and we just got to get direwolf on wolf. I hate that decision. I think that's terrible. I know it means we're guaranteed the Warren, and that's really nice, but no, you got to beat the boss. The focus is beating the boss. This is a really bad decision. I hate it. All right, we have another card decision. It's Magpie. We want to put Magpie onto Warren, and then we can basically beat every fight instantly. We play the Warren, we tutor the wolf, and then we sack the other one to play the wolf. Of course, we didn't upgrade the wolf, but at some point soon the wolf will get double strike. So we really need 2 more sacrificial altars and we're golden. Give the wolf double strike and put the magpie on the Warren, but we should take the magpie here. All right, we did get another sacrificial altar. I didn't take a screenshot of the map. My bad. We have upgraded the wolf now, which we should have done before, but I guess I got away with it. We got a campfire +1. I really should have screenshotted the map. That's great. Now our direwolf gets up to 2, which means it gets up to 6 when it evolves. All right, here's the screenshot of the current deck. Wait, what happened to the direwolf? Did I go for the direwolf twice? I got the direwolf eaten? That's kind of funny. I don't hate that. That's a decision. Looking through it now, I wasn't like, you should go for it twice. I was like, obviously you do it once and you get it up to 2 power. But actually, if it goes to 3, then it kind of just can stomp everything. Now, 3 is not that much better than 2, but I must have decided I didn't really care if it died. My goal is to get the wolf out as much as possible. I don't mind having a thinner deck. If I can get the magpie on the wolf, if I can get the magpie on the wolf, or on the magpie on the Warren, that's pretty good. All right, I just received a message. So we're going to pause this and come back later. Okay, brief interruption. We're back. Okay, where was I? Yeah, we want to put the magpie on the Warren. I don't hate losing the direwolf pup. It seems kind of silly and ridiculous, like I think it must be wrong, but I also don't think it changes our equity that much. Yeah, we're just a tight magpie Warren into wolf deck. And we can also use the magpie Warren to draw the pack rat and hopefully get to play that as well. Okay. This is a great fight for the pronghorn. But probably the move here is just we play the Warren into the wolf, clear phase 1, and use the scissors. Like, hard to go too wrong with that. Yep, we sent the wolf. We're using that. Yeah, looks good. All right, gotta be another pronghorn. We don't want to take a 1-drop. Okay, 1 sec. Okay. Act 3, what are we doing here? That's tough. I don't want to take the tribal thing and ruin our 1-drop. I think we go to the right. I love Goobert, but we haven't put the magpie on the thing yet, so we'd probably be doubling the wolf. Yeah, let's just go to the right. Okay, another pronghorn. Can't ruin our 0-1-drop setup. Just have a million pronghorns. This is a pronghorn tribal run. Oh, on a single draw from the items, we get scissors. All right, we'll take the scissors. That's great. Easy mud turtle. We got the magpie on the Warren. Good play. Okay. I wish I'd taken a screenshot before the last decision of where to go that sent us to the sacrificial altar, but going to the sacrificial altar, definitely good. Here we're going to go right. You could go left. Because you really don't want a one drop. A one drop, we have really little time to fix it. Maybe you go left. Yeah, maybe you go left. The odds of the right screwing you are low. The odds of the right giving you something you really want are significantly higher. But I think at this point we should be minimizing downside, not maximizing upside. So I'd go left, actually. But if I went right, I wouldn't be surprised. I went left. Good job, me in the past. I've only made one decision this run I think was terrible. 2 drops are bones. How much bones do we have in our deck? Just Coyote? But our deck is very thin. We're not sacrificing that much. Take the 2 drop. I guess we'll never know what I did. Pack Rat is good. So we could use the Spyglass and then probably take the Pelt and get the knife, and then we get to go to the Mycologist, but I don't think we have anything exciting to duplicate. Like, Pronghorns would be fine to duplicate, 2/6 Pronghorns. On the other hand, going to the right is not exciting at all either. Yeah, I think we should use the Spyglass, get the knife, and go to the left. Turning a 1/3 Pronghorn into a 2/6 Pronghorn is a pretty enormous jump. It's kind of just a wall at that point and does a ton of damage. So actually, I don't hate going to the right. We already have a pack rat or two, so I'd probably be doing it for the campfire, which is just not that exciting. So I think you should go left here. Like, I think it's easy to think, like, do the thing that has no downside, and going to the right has no downside. But I think going to the left has enough upside. I know I said minimizing downside's more important, but the knife is really good, and turning 2 bad cards in our deck into 1 good card, I think is really good as well. So I think we should go left. Clearly I went to the right, which is fine and safe. Let's take the cockroach. Obviously you can't take the tadpole, so it's corpse maggots or cockroach. And do we have any 3 drops? No, we don't. If we had a 3 drop, maybe you take the corpse maggot, but as is, cockroach is fine. And apparently I took the corpse maggot, which I think is a terrible decision. When did I pick up the bat? Oh, I must have picked bones back when I was like bones or 2 drop. But that could have been mud turtle as well. I don't take enough screenshots. Yeah. I think a couple shaky decisions here. Turn the wolf into a 4/2. Sure, obviously we're not pushing our luck. The wolf at 3/2 is already good enough. Okay, and we got a sacrificial altar to give pack rat, make it easier for that to come into play, so we generate more items. That seems fine. We didn't have a great target for the corpse maggot, so I think it would have been better to do what I did in the first run and take the cockroach and then put items on the cockroach and just have that as a continual item generator. I think I prefer that by quite a bit. Okay, we get the boss. We set up our wolf. And I used the scissors, and we replaced it by playing the pack rat after, so I set it up well. And we got a tourney clock, which is nice too. All right, boss down. So Skink is obviously the best card here, but we have to take Wolverine because we want to draw our tutoring Warren every game. And if we take the Skink, we can't. All right, Act 3. Very easy. Go to the right, see the cave, and we get to copy something. Now, there is a question of what we copy, but I think we'll get to that in a moment. First, we get to choose between fun cards. The Ringworm is like pretty good, but not as good as our Warren. And we want to draw our Warren every time. So we can't take the Ringworm, even though this is a pretty good Ringworm. I think the Bunny keeps the 9 lives thing. So you can Ringworm into Bunny and then pop out all your 2 drops basically for free. The Raven's kind of terrible. It's got to be the Ant Queen. It's not a great card, but it does make a pile of ants. So I did duplicate the Warren. I was going to say this is kind of risky. Because if you don't keep the search feature, if that gets changed, then you suddenly have a 1 drop that is not quite as good as your guaranteed one, and your deck is a lot worse. So the safe move is to copy the wolf because that is guaranteed to be really good. Even if it changes for double strike, it's a 4/2 wolf, and we with an ability. And we also have the Warren as our guaranteed one drop, so we can get the good wolf even if the other wolf goes bad. And if the other wolf goes good, that's great. But I clearly got very lucky here. I don't know about this decision. If this goes right, it's great. If it, there's a good chance no abilities change, and if one ability does change, it has to be the search ability, so only 50% for that. So like there's a very good chance everything goes right here. But my deck is in such good shape. I think this was a bit of a win more move. I think I made a bad move here. It paid off, I got an even better Warren, but I think this was not a classy play. I think this was well, if 90% of the time my deck gets even better and I'm in great shape. But I think I was in great shape. So yeah, I think this is a little wrong. Okay, it's going to be another cave for sure, and then probably the mycologist. We could in fact combine our Warrens into one, though that doesn't really help. Because right now if we get either Warren, we can tutor the other plus another card, and then we can tutor 2 more cards. And if we combine them, then it does copy itself, but I guess it ends up about the same. All right, so we can definitely mycologist them together. But we definitely want to take the cave. Easy alpha, more item generation, plus a good ability. All right, I duped the pronghorns. That makes sense too. I like that because I don't think duplicating the Warrens made any difference. I think they get the same number of tutors either way. Not duplicating, combining. Okay, we don't need to get rid of a card. Our Warren start is so good. We're just, I assume every fight right now I'm just Warrening into the wolf. Or I Warren into the other Warren, Rabbit into the Pack Rat, play the other Warren, get the wolf, hopefully get the Pack Rat and the wolf so I can regenerate items. I should be re-rolling items every fight. So there's not really anything I need to get rid of because that's going so well. So I think maybe go to the mycologist again and get up to a 3/9. Also, that lets us take another cave on the left, which is good. So I like going left here. Yeah, good deck. Don't think it matters, to be honest. Like, I could see an argument for any of these, and I think they're not making much difference. Given that we already have a Wolverine, I don't know that we're going to ever take the time to sack 2, so probably not that, but maybe a Mud Turtle. I don't think it matters. All right, we make a Super Pronghorn. That's fun. 3/9 is probably the best Pronghorn I've ever had. We go to a cave. That's a terrible Cockroach, a terrible River Snapper, and we certainly do not want a 1-drop. It's probably the Cockroach, but these cards suck. But at least we don't have to take a 1-drop. And again, I don't think it matters. I think the deck is set. We get another Pack Rat, as if we needed more items. I like putting the Wolverine on the Pronghorn. That's fun. That's gonna eat and go to town. Oh, now I'm remembering this. I think I had the Pronghorn all set up, and I screwed up its movement between stages on the final boss. So I thought I was clearing a phase, and then it would sidestep the cannons, but it doesn't move between phases, and so I got it killed. Yeah, I'm remembering this now. I was really excited for it to be like a 5/9 or 5/7, maybe it had taken a little damage going into the ship at the end, but sadly it was not to be. Turkey Vulture sucks. Coyote's fine. Beaver you can do fun stuff with, but I don't think we have any cards that do fun stuff, but it's probably the Beaver. I don't know. Okay. We're on the final part. I don't really know what we have. It looks like we could regenerate 1 item. I don't think we've ever been to the Wood Carver, so no point going there. I don't think we have any pelts, so no point going there. Yeah, I wanted us to take a pelt earlier, but we never did. We probably have something good to do at the Sacrificial Altar, but I don't remember a deck. All right, here's our deck. Do we have anything good to do at the Sacrificial Altar? Not really. We could put the Mud Turtle ability on something. We could put item on something slightly cheaper. No, we should just get the item. Yeah, get the item. Nope, I didn't. I think we should get the item there. We're going to redraw a lot of items, but having one extra item is nice. So I drew a million cards here. I don't know why I took a screenshot of this. But we made it to the ship, and I must have cleared out the ship like entirely by ant queening and anting. Yeah, because my pronghorn died, and I didn't have a ton of power. So the wolf is going to do a bit, the 4/2 double strike wolf, but it's going to die pretty quick. My items are useless. As you can see here, I've already drawn my whole deck. The tourney clock doesn't matter. So yeah, I just had to ant queen my way through, just slowly doing damage. And you can see this. Yeah, this was the first time I've ever run out of cards against the final boss. I had read that it's okay to do so and you don't starve, that the fight just continues and keeps playing turns. But I actually just barely got here. Oh, its power goes up 1 each turn. So it got up to 5 power, but the cockroach kills it, and then the cockroach does it just as I've ran out of cards because I can't play the Ant Queen anymore. Wow. I bet I mishandled this fight really badly for it to get so close. But also, I clearly got a bit unlucky on items. Wow. All right, but we get the win, and that is a win streak of 2. How long will it go? It's hard to get win streaks in a game where your true win percentage is like 25% or whatever. Like, it's pretty tough, you know. Especially because this was actually like, I didn't do any extra runs here. These were just the first runs I did on the Bones deck. Um, and I thought, wow, I'm so good at this. And now my attempts for future of runs after recording this series are not going so well. All right.